Hello, my friends. Welcome to From Impossible to Inevitable. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Just as a reminder, if you are listening on a podcast platform, there is a YouTube version on YouTube. I'll link it in the show notes so you can watch me if you would prefer. And of course, I'm on all the major podcasts as well if you prefer to just listen in. Today's episode comes to you from a Barbie song. We're not talking about Weird Al Yankovic here. We are talking about Barbie, Malibu Barbie. My girls love Barbie, and I mean, what's not to love? She's friendly and fantastic and a go-getter, and nothing can stop her at all, including Raquel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you really need to dive into the life of Barbie as a TV show because it's very funny, very entertaining, and it's just fun. Anyways, so this is from one of the movies. It's oh man, Barbie Princess Adventure, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, the song is called Try It On. That's what the song's called. And if you search for it in Spotify, just search Try It On and Barbie and you'll find it. And it's a really great short song all about trying things out in your life that we typically over identify with things. Oh, I don't want to try that because then I feel like I'm going to have to do it forever and I don't know if I can commit for the rest of my life, and it's just such a big deal. We completely over identify with with things that we do sometimes when we need to be able to look at it and take a step back and give ourselves permission to just try things out. So we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to get it right every time, all the time, the first time, and it's completely unnecessary. It's a pressure that we're putting on ourselves that we just don't have to do. So, first of all, before you start trying things out, really figure out what the goal is. What's the goal for the things that you're trying? What are you trying to create? A story I heard once, it's been years, but it's stuck with me. This guy, some guy, I don't remember who, like I said, it's been years. He, to his friends' view, so let's back up, his friends and the people who didn't know him well and all of that, from their view, they saw this guy as kind of a flake jumping from one diet to another. You know, it kind of felt like this month he was vegan and this month he was doing paleo and this month he was doing this and this month he was doing this. He was always jumping around from all these different diets and couldn't stay consistent with anything. And what a loser. Okay, that was from his, the outsider perspective. And finally, someone asked him, they were like, why are you always on these different crazy diets? Like, why can't you just stick to something? And he very self-assuredly, very calmly explained to these people, he was like, so actually, my goal is to eat to nourish my body and have the most energy possible. I'm not sure what will give me the most nourishment and the most energy. So I'm researching and trying out all these different things for a period of time. Maybe he did it for a month or 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever it was. But he gave himself some time. He was completely committed for that period of time, for that 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever it was. He tried it on. He tried on being paleo, being vegan, or eating that way. He tried on eating that way to see the effect it had on his body. Now, when you view it like that, when you see his goal as he is eating for the energy and the nourishment of his body, and he's trying out all these different ways of nourishing himself and actually paying attention to how he feels, it makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, so you're not just bouncing around because you're not committed. You're actually so committed to your health and to your energy levels that you are willing to go full force on all of these rather intense kind of diets. And you're so committed that you are paying attention to your body and how all of these different things make you feel. And he's like, yes, I am so committed to having the most energy and the most nourishment in my body possible, that I'm willing to spend the time to try all of these different things to see what works for me and my body the best. That makes so much sense. All of a sudden, this guy isn't a flake. He's a super committer and really quite amazing. He removed the pressure of getting it right the first time. He removed the pressure of committing for an incredibly long period of time on any one particular thing, and instead committed to the goal of having the most energy and nourishment in his body possible. That was his goal. The method can change, and he could try on all these different methods, and he gave himself permission to do so, and he just disregarded anybody else's judgment, because yeah, his friends and those around him thought he was kind of a flake until seek till they sought to understand why he seemed to be jumping from one thing to another. They made an assumption there, and he knew. He was like, their assumption is not my responsibility. My responsibility is what I'm doing. He's like, and if they want to know, they'll ask and I'll tell them. And how admirable is that? How admirable. We tend to feel like we have to commit to the first thing. We do all the research and we're like, okay, this is the thing. And we build it up and this is the thing. But it doesn't have to be the thing. Figure out what your root goal is. This guy's root goal was maximum nourishment and energy in his body. That was his root goal. What is your root goal? Truly, ask yourself, what are some of your root goals? And then you can give yourself permission to explore all the pathways of fulfilling that root goal. And some of them will work and some of them won't. And that's okay. And with whatever it is you're doing, give yourself ample time to try these things. Don't just try stuff for a week and be like, that didn't work. Give yourself, really be committed, go all in, give yourself the time it needs to actually see if that will get you to your goal. Because it may or it may not, but you won't truly know if you don't truly give it all you have. There's so much value in trial and error, because then you learn about yourself, you learn about what you like, what you don't like. You might even learn that you need to refine your root goals a little bit. And oh no, I thought I wanted that, but this is actually what I want because of this experience that I had. There's so much value in trial and error, and there's so much value in experience. I often joke around and laugh about experience is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted. And I think that's really funny. And I also think it's really true. Because if you talk to somebody who had like this crazy experience, maybe traveling or, you know, whatever, and they're like, yeah, that was an experience. Yep, you didn't get what you wanted, so you got an experience. But there's so much value in having those experiences because you learn and you know better next time. You know not to even do that thing, or you know to do it differently. There's so much value there. The other thing is that you need to give yourself permission to lean in. If something feels like it will truly fulfill your root goals, just lean into it. Maybe like, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm giving myself permission to learn more, to lean in, to try it out, to try it on. How does this feel? And give yourself permission to make a different choice, especially as it goes with habits. When you think you want a habit, maybe you want a habit to, I don't know, maybe you think you want to do CrossFit or something like that, and you try it out and you're like, I'm a CrossFitter. Instead of over identifying with, I am a CrossFitter, you're like, I want to be more healthy And I'm going to see if CrossFit is my way to do that because there are so many different ways of being more healthy. You can do CrossFit, you can do, self-defense, you can do dancing and gymnastics and swimming and running and there's so many ways to exercise your body, and there's so many ways because there's so many different people. And different things work better for different people and their bodies and their personalities and the time that they want to dedicate to something. Not everybody wants to dedicate 10 hours a week to running for marathon training. Not everybody wants to dedicate, just a 10-minute walk. They want more than that. And that's great. You can have more than that. You can have less than that. There's so many ways to fulfill a root goal. And giving yourself permission to try something out and then make a different choice is so empowering, because then you're just trying stuff. And what's wrong with that? There's so much pressure to just have it all figured out and know this is what works for me, this is what I do, this is who I am, when we can just really take advantage of trying things and taking the time to figure it out. Isn't that like, isn't that such a gift to give to yourself? The time to try it out, to just see how it feels, to just see what it's like. You don't know until you try it. We often do this with so much grace when it comes to kids. Like right now, Berlin is doing gymnastics and she did dance during the school year. And it's like, okay, we're open for you to try other things. Do you want to? Oh, she wanted to do chess. So we decided, okay, let's do chess. We don't know if it'll stick. We don't know if it'll stay, but she won't know unless we kind of allow the opportunity. And she doesn't have to do chess forever. If she decides next year she doesn't want to do chess, then she doesn't do chess. What's great? Great. We give this free reign to kids. We're like, yeah, we signed up for soccer this year. We didn't, but I'm just saying, like, if somebody could be like, our kids signed up for soccer this year. I don't know if you'll like it, but we're trying it. We give all of this to our kids and we don't give it to ourselves. We don't give it to ourselves as adults because we're adults. We're supposed to know all the things, blah, blah, blah. That's not even true. The gymnastics studio, gym, whatever that B goes to, has an adult class and you can try it out for free. And I look at that advertisement and I'm like, that would be, sometimes I think that would be really fun. Also, that's really scary and really vulnerable because I'm not a gymnast. Okay, duh, I'm not a gymnast. But why? Why couldn't I just do it for fun? Why couldn't I try it on? And it's the only person that's holding me back on that is me. If I came home and told Jake, I was like, we're going to have 2 gym memberships because I'm going in. He'd be like, great, that's fantastic. Let's do this. I'll buy the first leotard. But I haven't said that. I haven't done that. I haven't allowed myself to try it on. And why not? Because I'm scared. That's why. I'm scared of making a fool of myself on this adult's beginners, never done gymnastics class ever class because I'm just scared. And isn't that the hang up? We just get scared. Get scared of the judgment of others, get scared of whatever we decide that we're scared of. We're just scared sometimes. So there it is. I wasn't planning on going down the scared road, but it happened. So here's what I'm saying. Give yourself to be in on the adventure. Give yourself that gift. Just tell yourself, if not others, tell yourself, I'm on the adventure of figuring out, then whatever your goal is. I'm on the adventure of figuring out how I want to exercise, how I want to be healthy. I'm on the adventure of figuring out how to make passive income. I'm on the adventure of figuring out how to have the most energy and nourishment in my body possible. And then you just really opened a lot of doors. Just really opened them up. And that's permission that only you can grant yourself. And just like this guy who just decided that other people's judgments and assumptions weren't his problem, other people's judgments and assumptions aren't your problem. Let people think whatever they're going to think as you seemingly bounce around from one thing to another. Who cares? You're trying stuff out. You can try stuff on. Pretend you're going to Target and you're just trying things on to see how they look, see how they fit, see if that's your color, see if it's your style. And not everything's going to fit. Not everything belongs in your closet. My closet, if you emptied out my closet and put it into yours and vice versa, we would both probably be really disappointed. And that's awesome. Try stuff out, try stuff on. Don't personalize, don't internalize it too much. Figure out what your root goals are and just give yourself permission. Know that there's value in trial and error, and give yourself some grace and permission. That's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me and for tuning in. I appreciate all of your love and your subscriptions and comments and likes and shares. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish you the best day and all the sparkly things. Until next time, bye.